Hey, sup, pickle butt?
Seriously? It's that easy to talk to the internet?
Yeah, I'm the internet.
Monsters vs. aliens! Monsters vs. aliens! Monsters vs. aliens! MVA.
Well, this show is shit. I was worried about this one going in because Monsters vs. Aliens is known as one of DreamWorks' lesser properties. In some circles, it's considered worse than Shark Tale. I mean, it did turn out to be profitable, but then again, so did Shark Tale.
See, on top there's Don Lino. Right. There's me. And there's regular fish.
Oh, that's me.
No.
But for some reason, they wanted to make a cartoon out of this. This one. Kung Fu Panda, I understand why they wanted to make a series out of it. There are a lot of little stories that you could tell with these characters. Madagascar, it's a little bit harder to buy, but with the actual stories that they gave, they made a compelling argument as to why that show should have existed. Why Monsters vs. Aliens? It's a movie no one likes. If you're wondering, I haven't seen the movie myself, so I do apologize if I get any details wrong. Now, I remember recovering from a surgery back when it was in theaters, and my family decided to go see that movie out of the blue, while I couldn't. So the whole Monsters vs. Aliens thing has kinda always left me with a bitter taste to begin with, but I have done plenty of research. While I still haven't seen the movie, I did look up what it's about, and the general reactions to it. For example, I know that the movie was criticized for very bad animation. Monsters vs. Aliens was criticized for having very uncanny expressions and looking horrendous. As Jello Apocalypse put it, all of the characters look like Mad Max characters. The show manages to carry over this tradition in a frightening new way. I just want you to see some of these clips. Look at how bad this is. This is the worst looking show of the entire lineup. There is no worse looking Nicktoon than this. This is the poorest quality animation out of all of them. 2D, 3D, I don't care. Jimmy Neutron looks better than this does, and that was made in 2002. I was gonna say that this show looks like a very early PlayStation 2 game, but no, I want to show you something. This is some animation from the video game 40 Wings. It's on the PlayStation 1. It was made in 1999, and it looks better than this show. I'm being dead set honest when I say that 90s CGI cartoons look better than this. I bet even Reboot looks better than whatever the hell this is. What happened? Was it a lack of budget? I mean, after Penguins and Kung Fu Panda, I would assume that they'd be given some extra money to play with. Susan looks like a Barbie doll. Like those old Uncanny as Hell Bratz cartoons, they look better than this. It's just so plastic and ugly. This has been kind of a pattern that I've noticed on Nickelodeon. What's the best DreamWorks show on Nickelodeon? The first one. What's the best Dan Snyder show? Oh, his first ones. Best Butch Hartman shows. The first ones. Why is it, whenever Nickelodeon has a property or an artist that they like using over and over again, why do they continually get worse without fail? There are no exceptions. It's each and every single time. It's shows like this, like Bunsen, like Kid Danger, that make it very obvious that there's some kind of problem endemic to the very structure of Nickelodeon. In the real world, this isn't how it's supposed to work. People are supposed to get better with more experience. However, if you work for Nickelodeon, you're either going to get shunted out before you blink, or you're going to be working for them as you crash and burn, and then go beyond that. Do I sound angry? Maybe I am. Maybe that's because it's a fucking tragedy when the first thing you've ever done is the best thing that you've ever done. And maybe that's why Nickelodeon apparently lost their DreamWorks license after this. Penguins of Madagascar had effort put into it. It felt like a show that wanted to exist, despite all odds. Kung Fu Panda could be awkward, but it was harmless in the long run. This show, garbage. It's one of the worst. Beauty is only skin deep though, right? You can't judge a book by its cover and so on. Except this is one of those books that's perfectly acceptable to judge by its cover. The humor in the show is awful. It does seem to be pulled from the movie, which is one of the worst aspects of it if you ask people. Haha, isn't the president acting like a fool funny? Considering the reality of today, no, it's not funny. It really isn't. It's actually kind of frightening.
I started off in Brooklyn. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million. I came into Manhattan.
But even before then, giving adults the personalities of children really is a tired old bit. All of the characters are flanderized, everyone has got one character trait. And sometimes it's from the movie, sometimes it pretends the movie doesn't exist. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Susan want to not be a giant and wanted to live a normal life? In this one, she's absolutely super happy to be a giant. It's part of her identity and she gets sad when it's in jeopardy. I'm just very, very confused. It's like they made a Shrek cartoon, but it was about Shrek destroying villages and eating people. I didn't watch the movie, but for some reason I feel like I'm on equal footing to the people who actually made the show. Actually, I think that I'm a step or two further because I could do things like read the Wikipedia synopsis of the damn thing, and look up some reviews, seeing what people liked and hated about the movie. If I did watch the movie, I'm sure there would be other things that I would complain about. Like Kung Fu Panda, the original movie did use celebrity voice actors like Stephen Colbert and Hugh Laurie, doing a pretty bad English accent. Dude, Hugh, stick to the American thing. I don't know why he keeps insisting on doing that clearly phony English accent. I imagine that if you like the movie, this would be really noticeable and it would be really jarring in its own right, because once again, these are voices with a lot of identity. And DreamWorks actually seemed to have some hope in this piece of trash franchise. From what I understand, they wanted to have sequels, but this show was so bad that it more or less killed any momentum that the series had. And not only that, it seems that DreamWorks didn't have any cartoon spin-offs of their movies after this one. Just avoid this one and stick to Penguins of Madagascar. Trust me, this one has nothing of value. It's not even bad in a humorous way. It's just dry and boring, and not to mention ugly as sin. The only thing to note of this show is its failures, like the putrid animation. I honestly don't think that I've seen another television show, especially one from the 2010s, that had CGI animation this bad. If you look worse than Homer Cubed, an episode of The Simpsons from 1995,
Holy macaroni!
then maybe that's a sign that you should probably stop trying. Or maybe upgrade your tech beyond a TI-83. Fucking thing was made on a potato.
Next on Nickelodeon.
All I wanna do is see you turn into a giant woman, a giant woman. All I wanna be is someone who gets to see a giant woman. All I wanna do is help you turn into a giant woman, a giant woman. All I wanna be is someone who gets to see a giant woman. Oh, I know it will be great, and I just can't wait to see the person you are together. If you give it a chance, you can do a huge dance, because you are a giant woman. You might even like being together, and if you don't, it won't be forever. But if it were me, I'd really wanna be a giant woman, a giant woman. All I wanna do is see you turn into a giant woman.